slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore.
Psalm 83 in Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Al Dami Alaka.
Al Dami Alaka.
Al Takarash.
Al Takarash.
Wa Al Tashakwat.
Wa Al Tashakwat.
Al Kayahana.
Kayahana.
Awayabyaka.
Awayabyaka.
Yahama.
Yahama.
Yawan.
Yawan.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al Aimaka.
Al Aimaka.
Ira Yamwa.
Yara Yamwa.
Sawada.
Sawada.
Wayata.
Wayata.
Ya Aitazawa.
Aitazawa.
Al Tazapawanyaka.
Al Tazapawanyaka.
Amarwa.
Amarwa.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Wanakakidam.
Wanakaki.
Magoya.
Magoya.
Wala.
Wala.
Yazakar.
Yazakar.
Sham Yasha'ala.
Sham Yashala.
Iwada.
Iwada.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawa Aitazawa.
Nawa Aitazawa.
Laba.
Laba.
Yakadwa.
Yakadwa.
Alyaka.
Alyaka.
Baraya.
Baraya.
Yakarathwa.
Yakaratwa.
Aholia.
Aholia.
Adawam.
Adawam.
Yashamai.
Yashamai.
Alayam.
Alayam.
Mawa Abba.
Mawa Abba.
Hagariam.
Hagariam.
Gabal.
Gabal.
I'm a one.
Why am I one?
I'm a lock.
Why am I locked?
Palasha.
Palasha.
I'm Yeshabia.
I'm Yeshabia.
Taza war.
Taza war.
Gam Ashawar.
Gam Ashawar.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
Imam.
Imam.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Zarawai.
Zarawai.
Labanya Lawat.
Labanya Lawat.
Salah.
Salah.
Aishalaham.
Aishalaham.
Kamadin.
Kamadin.
Kasaya.
Kasaya.
Sara'ah.
Sara'ah.
Kayabian.
Kayabian.
Manakal.
Manakal.
Kwayashwan.
Kwayashwan.
Nashamadwa.
Nashamadwa.
Ba'ayan.
Bayan.
Da'ara.
Dara.
Kazaba. Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Daman.
Daman.
Adama.
Ladama.
Shayatamwa.
Sayatamwa.
Nada.
Nada.
Yabmawa.
Yabmawa.
Ka'arab.
Ka'arab.
Wakazaba.
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 Wakatazol.
Wakatazol.
Manai.
Manai.
Kalnasaya Kamwa.
Kalnasaya Kamwa.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Amarwa.
Amarwa.
Nayarasha.
Nayarasha.
Lanawa.
Lanawa.
Na'awa.
Na'awa.
Alahayam.
Alahayam.
Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Shayatamwa.
Shayatamwa.
Kagogala.
Kagogala.
Kakwash.
Kakwash.
La Panyararaka.
The Panyararaka.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Tabi'ira.
Tabi'ira.
Ya'ira.
Ya'ira.
Bakalahaba.
Kalahaba.
Talahat.
Talahat.
Harayam.
Harayam.
Khan.
Khan.
Daradapma.
Daradatma.
Basa Iraka.
Basa Iraka.
Wabasa.
Wabasa.
Wapafka.
Wapatka.
Tabahalam.
Tabahalam.
Mala'a.
Mala'a.
Panyaham.
Panyaham.
Walawan.
Walawan.
Wayabakwashwa.
Wayabakwashwa.
Shemka.
Shemka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa.
Wayabaholwa.
Wayabaholwa.
Aija Ai.
Aija Ai.
Wayakaparwa.
Wayakaparwa.
Wayabadwa.
Wayabadwa.
Wayadayawa.
Wayakawa.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Ata.
Ata.
Shemka.
Shemka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Labadka.
Labadka.
Al-Yawan.
Al-Yawan.
Al-Kalha Aratazar.
Al-Kaharataza. In the English. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace. And be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken craft against thy people and consulted against thy hated ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off. For being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes, Gabal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as Sisera, as Tujabin, at the brook of Kisan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth, made their nobles like Oreb and like Zeb, yea, all their princes, as Abba and as Almunam, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. Oh, my power, make them like a wheel, the stubble before the wind. As a fire burneth a wood, and as a flame set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. Most High in Christ, Most High in Christ. What's going on, Israel? We're gonna get right back into it. Right where we left off at. For those who want to tag along, just go to blueletterbible.org. Right, blueletterbible.org. Type in Exodus 34 at the top. All right, we're gonna pick up. We'll pick up at verse 1. All right. So whenever you're ready, priest.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 34 and verse 1 in the Hebrew. Waya Amar Yahweh al Mashah Pasal Laka Shanya Lakath Abunyam Quara Ashanyam Waka Thabathia al Halak Halatha Salakia Halakath Ath Hadabarium Ashar Hayawa al Halakath Hara Ashanyam Ashar Shabarath. Verse 2. Wahaya Nakawan Labakwar Wa Aliath Babakwar Al Har Sayanya Wana Tazabath Laya Sham Al Ra'ash Hahar. Verse 3. Wa Ayash La'ah Ya'ila Imak Wagam Ayash Al Yara'ah Bakal Hahar Gam Hat Taza'an Waha Bakwar Al Yara'aiwa Al Mawal Hahar Hahawa. Verse 4. Wayapasal Shanya Lakath Abunyam Kara Ashanyam Wayashakam Mashak Babakwar Waya Al Har Sayanya Ka'ashar Tazawa Yahawa Athwa Waya Kwak Baya Dayawa Salakia Waya Dawa Shanya Lakath Abunyam. Verse 5. Wayarad Yahweh Ba'ainan Waya Thai Tazab Imwa Sham Waya Kwara'a Basham Yahweh. Verse 6. Natazar Kasad la al la payam nasha'a I won wa pashai waka ta'a wanakwa la a yanakwa pakwad I won abawath al bunyam wa al banyam al shalashim wa al raba'ayim. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 34 and verse 1 in English. And the Lord said unto Moses, hew the 2 tables of stone like unto the first, and I will write upon these tables the words that were in the first tables, which thou breakest. Verse 2, and be ready in the morning to come up in the morning unto Mount Sinai, and present thyself there to me in the top of the mount. Verse 3, and no man shall come up with thee, neither let any man be seen throughout all the mount, neither let the flocks nor herds feed there before the mount. That mount, Salakia. And verse 4, and he hewed 2 tables of stone like unto the first, and Moses rose up early in the morning and went up unto Mount Sinai, as the Lord had commanded him, and took in his hand the 2 tables of stone. Verse 5, and the Lord descended in the cloud and stood with him there, and proclaimed the name of the Lord. Verse 6, and the Lord passed by before him and proclaimed, the Lord thy God, merciful and gracious, long-suffering and abundant in goodness and truth. Verse 7, keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgressions and sin, and that will by no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children and upon the children's children unto the 3rd and to the 4th generation. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 34 and verse 8 in Hebrew. Waya mahar, masha, waya quad, arat tazah, waya shafathia, salakia, waya shafakathwa. Verse 9, waya amar, na'ah, matazaathia, khan, ba'ayanayaka, adanya, yalaka, na'ah, adanya, akwara, bakwa, rabnawa, kaya, aim, kwasha, tazarap, hawa'a, wasa lakath, la awan nawa, wala kata'ath nawa, wana kalath nawa. Verse 10, waya amar, hana, anakia, korath, barayath, nagad, kal, imak, aisha, napalaath, ashar, la'ah, na bara'awa, bakal, Ha'aratazar, Wabakal, Hagawayam, Wara'ah, Kal, Ha'aim, Ashar, Atha, Bakwarab, Bakorabwa, Ath, Ma Aisha, Yahweh, Kaya, Nawa, Ra'ah, Hawa'ah, Ashar, Anya, Aisha, Aimaka. Verse 11. Shamar, Laka, Ath, Ashar, Anakia, Matazawaka, Hayawam, Hananya, Garash, Mapanyaka, Ath, Ha'amaria, Waha Kanaania, Waha Thathia, Waha Parazia, Waha Parazia, Waha Kawaya, Haya Bawam, Salakia, Haya Wahaya Bawasia. Verse 12. Hashamar Laka Pun Thakarath Barayath Laya Washab Ha'arataza Ashar Atha Ba'a Aliyah Pun Yahaya Lama Wakwash Bakwarabka. Verse 13. Kaya Ath Maza Bathatham Thathat Tazawan Wa'ath Bataza Batham Thasha Barawan Wa'ath Ashariawa Thakarath the one and verse 14 Kaya La'ah Thasha Thakathwa La Allah Achar Kaya Yahweh Qana'ah Shemwa Al Qana'ah Hawa'ah. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 34 and verse 8 in English. And Moses made haste and bowed his head toward the earth and worshiped. Verse 9. And he said, if now I have found grace in thy sight, O Lord, let my Lord, I pray thee, go among us, for it is a stiff-necked people, and pardon our iniquity and our sin, and take us for thine inheritance. Verse 10. And he said, behold, I make a covenant between all thy people. I will do marvels such as not been done in all the earth, nor in any nation. And all the people among which thou art shall see the work of the Lord, for it is a terrible thing that I will do with thee. That's why you hear us say about Shah, he's a terrible power. And understand what that means. You're about to find out again pretty soon. Verse 11. Observe thou that which I command thee this day. Behold, I drive out before thee the Amorite and the Canaanite and the Hittite and the Perizzite and the Hivite and the Jebusite. Verse 12. Take heed to thyself, lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land whither thou goest, lest it be for a snare in the midst of thee. Verse 13. But ye shall destroy their altars, break their images, and cut down their groves. Verse 14. For thou shalt worship no other God, for the Lord, whose name is jealous, is a jealous God. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 34 and verse 15 in Hebrew. Pun, Thakarash, Barayath, Wayawashab, Ha'arataza, Razanwa, Akaria, Alahayaham, was a Bathwa, Bakwa. La Alahayaham, Wakara'a Laka, Wa Akalath, Maza Bakwa. Verse 16. Walakwakath, Mabanathiawa, Labanyaka, Wazanwa, Banathathiawa, Akaria, Alahaya Hun, Waha Zanwa, Ath, Bunyaka, Akaria, Alahaya Hun. Verse 17. Alahaya, Masaka, La'a, Ha'aisha, Laka. Verse 18. Ath, Kag, Hamatazawath, Tashamar, Shabaith, Yam Yam, Ta'akal, Matazawath, Ashar, Tazawathi, Tazawayathaka, Lama Wa'aid, Kadar, Anakiab, no, Ha'abiyab, Kaya, Ba-Kadash, Ha'abayab, Ya Taza'ath, Matazarium. Verse 19. Kal, Patar, Rakam, Laya, Wakal, Makwanaka, Hazakar, Patar, Shawar, Rasha. Verse 20. Wapatar, Kamawar, Tapada, Basha, Wa'am, La'a, Tapada, Wa'ai, Rapathwa, Kal, Bakuwar, Bunyaka, Tapada, Wala'a, Yara'awa, Punya, Rayakwam. Verse 21. Shashath, Yam Yam, Tha'ibad, Wabayawam, Hashabaya Aya, Thashabath, Bakar Riyash, Waba Kwatazayar, Thashabath. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 34 and verse 15 in English. Lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, and they go a-whoring after their gods, and do sacrifice unto their gods, and one call thee, and thou shalt eat of his sacrifice. If I may. So he's telling you here, don't mix in with these people, because if you start worshiping their gods, which is what mixing with them really means, then by chance, you might make a mistake and sacrifice unto their gods unbeknownst to you. You understand? So this is a warning to keep separate from these nations, man. And if the Most High wants us to be separate from this nation, there's good reason why, and he gives you all the reasons why. And this is sufficient enough that we should adhere to it, meaning that we shouldn't mix with them at all. And we should follow what the Most High gave us, which is the law, statutes, and commandments in the Bible and the scriptures. You're going to do it, willingly or unwillingly. You're going to do it. Okay. Verse 16. That thou shalt make thee no molten gods. Verse 18. The feast of unleavened bread shalt thou keep. 7 days shalt thou eat unleavened bread, as I commanded thee, in the time of the month Abib. For in the month Abib thou camest forth out of Egypt. Verse 19. And that openeth the matrix, all that openeth the matrix is mine. And every firstling among thy cattle, whether ox or sheep, that is male. Verse 34. Verse 20, Salakia. But the firstling of an ass thou shalt redeem with a lamb. And if thou redeem him not, then shalt thou break his neck. All the firstborn of thy sons thou shalt redeem, and none shall appear before me empty. Verse 21. 6 days thou shalt work, but on the 7th day thou shalt rest in earing time, and in harvest thou shalt rest. Meaning that whether it's spring, fall, winter, whatever, you still going to observe the Sabbath. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 34 and verse 22 in English. In Hebrew. Wakag Shabaith Aisha Laka Bakawaria Kwatazayar Katayam Wakag Ha'asayap Kwapath Hashana. Verse 23. Shalash Pa'imyam Bashana Yara'ah Kal Zakawaraka Ath Panya Ha'adan Yahweh Alahaya Yasha Allah. Verse 24. Kaya Awa Rayash Kawayam Mapanyaka Waha Rakabathia Ath Gabawalaka Wala Yahamad Ayash Ath Aratazaka Ba'ai Lathaka Lara Awath Ath Panya Yahweh Alahayaka Shalash Pa'imiyam Bashana. Verse 25. La'ah Tha Shakat Al Kamataza Dam Zakathia, Wala'a, Yalayan, La Bakwar, Zabak, Kag, Hapasak. That's the Passover. Verse 26. Ra'ashiyath, Bakwa, warrior. Adamataka, Thabaya'a, Bayath, Yahweh, Alahayaka, La'a, Thabashol, Gadia, Bakalab, Amwa. Verse 27. Waya Amar, Yahweh al-Mashah, Kathabalaka, Ath, Hadabarium, Ha'Allah, Kaya, Al-Payum, Paya, Salakia, Paya, Hadabarium, Ha'Allah, Karathia, Akkad, Salakia, Athak, Barayath, Wa'ath, Yasha'Allah. Verse 28. Wayahaya, Shum, Aim, Yahweh, Arabayim, Yawum, Ra, Arabayim, Layala, Lacham, La'a, Akal, Wamayam, La'a, Shatha, Waya, Kathab, Al, Halakath, Ath, Dabaria, Habariath, Asharath, Hadabarium. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 34 and verse 22 in English. And thou shalt observe the feast of weeks of the first fruits of wheat harvest and of the feast of gathering at year's end. Thrice in a year shall all your men children appear before the Lord God of Israel, the God of Israel. 24, for I will cast out the nations before thee and enlarge thy borders. Neither shall any man desire thy land when thou shalt go up to appear before the Lord thy God thrice in the year. 25, and thou shalt not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leaven, neither shall the sacrifice of the feast of the Passover be left until the morning. Verse 34. Verse 36. 26, Halakid, verse 26. The first of the first fruits of thy land thou shalt bring unto the house of the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not see thy kid in his mother's milk. Verse 27. And the Lord said unto Moses, Write thou these words, for after the tenor of these words have I made a covenant with thee and with Israel. Verse 28. And he was there with the Lord 40 days and 40 nights. He did neither eat bread nor drink water, and he wrote upon the tables the words of the covenant, the 10 commandments. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 34 and verse 29 in the Hebrew. Wayahaya Baradath Mashah Mahar Sayanya Washabia Lakath Haidath Bayad, Masha, Baradathwa, Man, Hahar, Wamasha, La'a, Yadia, Salakia, Yadai, Kaya, Kwaran, Iwar, Panyawa, Badabarwa, Athwa. Verse 30. Wayara'a, Aharon, Wakal, Banya Yasha Allah, Ath, Masha, Wahana, Kwaran, Iwar, Punyawa, Waya Yawa Awa, Magashath, Alayawa, Aliyawa, Salakia. Verse 31. Waya Kwara'a, Alaham, Masha, Waya Shabwa, Aliyawa, Aharon, Wakal, Hana, Sha'ayim, Ba'ida, Waya Dabar, Masha, Alaham. Verse 32. Wa'a Karya, Khan, Nagashwa, Kal, Banya Yasha Allah, Wayatazawum, Ath, Kal, Ashar, Dabar, Yahweh, Athwa, Bahar, Sayanya. Verse 33. Wayakal, Masha, Madabar, Athum, Wayathun, Al, Punyawa, Masawa. Verse 34. Wa Baba'a, Masha, La Punya, Yahweh, La Dabar, Athwa, Yasayor, Ath, Hama, Sawa, Al, Taza Athwa, Waya Taza'a, Wadabar, Al, Bunya, Yasha Allah, Ath, Ashar, Yatazawa. And verse 35. Wa Ra'awa, Bunya, Yasha Allah, Ath, Panya, Masha, Kaya, Kwaran, Iwar, Punya, Masha, Waha Shabia, no, Waha Shayab, Masha, Ath, Hama, Sawa, Al, Punyawa, Aid, Ba'awa, Ladabar, Athwa. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 34 and verse 29 in the English. And it came to pass, when Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the two tables of the testimonies in Moses' hand, and when he came down from the mount, that Moses wist not that the skin of his face shone while he talked with him. But it's saying that Moses didn't know that his face was glowing while he was talking to God, and that when he came down the mountain, his face was still lit up, glowing, so to speak. Verse 30, and when Aaron and the children of Israel saw Moses, behold, the skin of his face shone, and they were afraid to come nigh him. His face was shining so bright that they was afraid to come near him. Verse 31. And Moses called unto them, and Aaron and all the rulers of the congregation returned unto him, and Moses talked with them. Verse 32. And afterward, all the children of Israel came nigh, and he gave them in commandment all that the Lord had spoken with him in Mount Sinai. Now remember this. Moses was up there for 40 days and 40 nights. So he had more than just 10 commandments to tell the people. You understand? Verse 33. Until Moses had done speaking with them, he put a veil on his face. Meaning he covered his face because his face was shining. He didn't want the people to be afraid. Verse 34. Like the Most High told Moses that he was going to do terrible things for these people to see, for our people, us, me and you, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to see. You understand? And Moses didn't even realize that his face was glowing until the reaction of the people. And then he put on the veil because he knew that the people was afraid of him to come near him. Verse 34. But when Moses went in before the Lord to speak with him, he took the veil off until he came out. And he came out and he spake unto the children of Israel that which he was commanded. And the children of Israel saw the face of Moses, that the skin of Moses' face shone. And Moses put the veil upon his face again until he went to speak with him. And that is the end of chapter 34. So we go into chapter 35. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 35 and verse 1 in the Hebrew. Waya Kwahol Masha Ath Kal Idath Banya Yasha Allah Waya Amar Alaham Allah Hadabarium Ashar Tazawa Yahweh La Aishath Athum 35 and 1. I just read 35 and 1. Verse 2. Shashath Yum Yum The Aisha Mala'aka Wabayawam Ashabaya Ay Ya Ashabaya Aya Yahweh Yahad Salaki Yahaya Lakam Kodash Shabbath Shabbathia one La Yahweh Kal Ha'aisha Bawa Mala'aka Yawamath. Verse 3. La'ah the Ira Salakia the Ba'iro Irawa the Ba'irawa Asha Bakal Masha Bathiakum Bayawom Ha Shabbath. Verse 4. Waya Amar Masha Al Kal Idath Banya Yasha Allah La Amar Za Hadabar Ashar Tazawa Yahweh La Amar. Verse 5. Kwakwa Ma'athakam Thara Wama La Yahweh Kal Nadayab Labwa Yabaya Ath Thara Wamath Yahweh Zahab Wakasap Wana Kath Wanakashath. Verse 6. Wathakalath Wa'a Ragamman, Watha Wala Aith, Shanya, Washash, Wa Izium. Verse 7. Wa Irath, Ialum, Ma'adamium, Wa Irath, Va Kashium, Wa Itazaya, Shatium. Verse, that's the end of it. That was 7. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 35 and verse 1 in English. And Moses gathered all the congregation of the children of Israel together and said unto them, these are the words which the Lord hath commanded, that ye should do them. Verse 2. 6 days shall work be done, but on the 7th day shall be to you a holy day, a Sabbath of rest to the Lord, where whosoever doth work therein shall be put to death.
And if I could, real quick, this how simple the oppressor is. He read this and it say 6 days shall work be done, and on the 7th day shall be what? A holy day, a day of rest, right? The Sabbath. So all week, you mean to tell me you working, you slaving by cutting the damn stove on? You working and slaving by just cutting the light switch on in the house? You know, opening doors, cutting on your car. Hell no, man. That's not what working is. You know what I mean? It's not what kindling a fire is. It's talking about working. You know what I mean? How you make your money, your slavery, whatever it is you do. You know what I mean? Like they make the scripture so damn complicated. You know what I mean? It's simple, man. It say work. 6 days you should work. You know what I'm saying? Make your money, do what you do, till to the land. But that 7th day, you're gonna what? Take a rest. You Black, Hispanic, and American, we know what the hell work is and what taking rest is, man. We know the goddamn difference. We know on that day off, on that day we get off on our slavery, we know what? We rested. We ain't doing nothing. We gonna lay in the house. Brother's gonna go watch the game, get a couple beers. Sisters gonna go do what they do. We know what mental rest is. We understand what that is. The oppressor, he the one so damn confused because his Bible ain't for him. You know what I mean? Christians confused. You know what I'm saying? They have the wrong, and I'm saying the wrong interpretation of this Bible, man. It's really simple. You know what I'm saying? It's like it.
Verse 3. Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations upon the Sabbath day.
Right. This ain't talking about cutting the stove on, man. You got to eat. You got it. Remember, we were about them high holy days. The high holy days, you know what I'm saying? We run them like what? Like Sabbath service. And we got to do what? Man, we got to mingle the meat with the oil and the flour. We got to cook. They ain't talking about not being able to cook, man. We got to eat. The Lord always wants us to eat. You understand? Every damn feast, every holiday, what we doing, man? We throwing down. You know what I'm saying? We cooking all the dishes, man. Every tribe throwing down. Of course, it ain't talking about not eating. Again, what it's talking about, man? It's talking about working, man. Talking about slavery. You know what I mean? Your slave, as we call it, your job, man. You know what I mean? It's real simple.
Verse 4. And Moses spake unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, saying, this is the thing which the Lord commanded, saying. Verse 5. Take ye from among you an offering unto the Lord, whosoever is of a willing heart, and let him bring it, an offering of the Lord, gold and silver and brass. Verse 6. And blue and purple and scarlet and fine linen. Verse 7. And ram skin and dyed red. And ram skin dyed red, and badger skin and shittim wood. So Moses is not Salakia. He's not going to put this stuff in his pocket. They're going to make something out of it. You understand? It's not like today when the Christian pastor take the collection He put it in his pocket and buy a nice house, a nice car, even a $65 million airplane.
And real quick, let's just talk about the disgusting beast he is, man. How like you how much of a monster can you be, man? You just take and take and take and give nothing back to the people that give their life for you, man. They look up to you. You know what I mean? I remember it was a point in my life when I realized, you know what I mean, my influence on people that looked up to me. And it gave me a certain type of mental burden, you know what I mean, that I knew now that I know now I'm in the truth, I understand that the Lord gives us a conscience, man. When someone looks up to you and they, you know what I mean, you're an influence to their life, and you understand that if you tell them to go left or right, that's the difference between life and death. You know what I mean? That is when your humanity comes into play, man. That's when your morality comes into play, and that's how you learn the type of person that you are, man. When you're in control of someone's life, and these Christian pastors have been terrible fathers to us, man, and they failed us. You know what I mean? They've abused us, man. And they've allowed these other nations to abuse us and America to abuse us, man. You know what I mean? It is a terrible thing. You know what I mean? Moses was a great leader, man. He was a great leader. And you know another leader we have on the earth who is great as well? Commanding General Yohanan.
That's right.
He is a great father and a great leader to all of us, man. And it's not misplaced, you know what I mean, nor abused, you know what I mean, his authority, you know what I mean, over blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, man, under Christ, man.
And if I may add, Commander General Yohana has done everything that a leader is supposed to do for their people, man. This is the thing that I love about Commander General Yohana personally that I've watched above a lot of things. There's so many things to love about the brother, is that when things get rough and things and crazy stuff is happening around the world, he doesn't disappear. He comes out even more. You understand? His presence in his word and his comforting breakdown of the scriptures is even more available to the people, man. That's what I noticed. And that's the opposite when COVID hit, Commander General Yohana was there every day, giving us instructions, telling us what to do. You understand? But the Christian pastors, they disappeared. And they told you to put the tithes under the door in the mailbox. You understand? That's the difference, man. You understand? Let's read on, sir. Verse 8. Washaman lama awar wabashamyam lashaman hamashaka wala kwatarath hasamayam. Verse 9. Wa adanya shaham wa abanya malaayam la apawad wala kashan or wala kashan. Verse 10. Wakal kakam laba bakam yaba awa waya aishawa af kal ashar tazawa yahawa. Verse 11. Ath hama shakan ath aholwa wa ath makasahawa ath kwara sayawa wa ath kwarashyawa ath barayath barayakwa ath amadiawa wa ath adanyawa. Verse 12. Ath aharan wa ath badyawa ath haba kaparath wa ath parakath hamasaka verse 13. Ath hash shalakun wa'ath badyawa wa'ath kal kalyawa wa'ath lakam apanyam. Verse 14. Wa'ath manarath hama awar wa'ath Kalia wa'ath narathia narathia wa'ath shamun ha ma'awar. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 35 and verse 8 in English. And oil for the light, and spices for anointing oil, and for the sweet incense. Verse 9, and onyx stones, and stones to be set for the ephod, and for the breastplate. Verse 10, and every wise-hearted among you shall come and make all the Lord hath commanded, all that the Lord hath commanded. Meaning all of the things that you collected, all the items and the goods and the money that you collected, he's going to tell you what you're going to do with it and what you're going to make out of it. Verse 11. The tabernacle, his tent and his coverings, his taches and his boards, his bars, his pillars, and his sockets. Verse 12, the ark and the staves thereof with the mercy seat and the veil of the covering of the table and his staves and all his vessels and the shewbread. Verse 14, the candlestick also for light and his furniture and his lamps and the oil for the light. And that's the end of verse Exodus 35 and 14.
Right. Next 35 and 14. So next week, of course, we'll pick up at verse 15. You understand? Keep bringing out this truth. Keep diving into our history and learning who we are, man. You know what I'm saying? Learning who we are so we can grow as a nation of people. You know what I mean? Because as we know, nigh is, you know what I'm saying? It's nigh unto the time, man. You know what I mean? World War III is at hand. It's knocking on America's door right now. You know what I'm saying? So you Black, Hispanic, and American, you know what I mean? Now was the time to start playing with the Lord, man. Come back to your truth. Come back to your heritage. You know what I mean? Come home, man. Come home. You know what I'm saying? One West is where it's at. You know what I mean? Yeah, kind of go ahead. You know what I mean? One West is where it's at, man. You understand? Where we supposed to be. So we're going to clip it up right there. All right, so 34 and 15 is what we'll pick up next week. 1 second. All right, so just up here, Amadium. Men of Israel, gird thyself to prepare to salute the Torah. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah Barakayah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Barakayah.
So Amadium, this means to stand. Wapanya Kodum, this means turn to face the east. We'll start out with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew.
Abanawa,
Abanawa,
Shabbat Shemayim,
Bashamayim,
Quadash,
Quadash,
Hayah,
Hayah,
Shemka,
Shemka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Malakwaka,
Malakwaka,
Taba'ah,
Taba'ah,
Ratazayaka,
Zayaka,
Hayah,
Hayah,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Ba'arataza,
Ba'arataza,
Kawa,
Kawa,
Hayah,
Hayah,
Bashamayim,
Bashamayim,
Nathan Lenawa,
Nathanawa,
Lakam,
Lakam,
Cow,
Gal,
Yawam,
Yawam,
Wasalak Nawa,
Wasalak Nawa,
Kabawat Nawa,
Kabawat Nawa,
Wasalak Nawa,
Kasalak Nawa,
Kabawat Yanawa,
Kabawat Yanawa,
Wala,
Wala,
Tabiayanawa,
Tabi'ai Nawa,
Vanasaya 1,
Vanasaya 1,
Abo,
Abo,
Awashaya Nawa,
Abashai Nawa,
Mayan,
Mayan,
Rai,
Ra,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Laka,
Laka,
Hamalakwith,
Amalakwa,
Waha'ala,
Wa'ala,
Wahapaparis,
Watapara,
Iwalumium,
Babylonium,
Aman.
Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. From thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
Prayer for the power of the cock in the Hebrew. Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahashem, Yahweh Shai,
Hashem Yahweh Shah,
Baba Kusha,
Baba Kasha,
Nathan Lenawa,
Thundanawa,
Hakak,
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 Para'ah,
Larpa'a,
Cow Makala,
Kal Makala,
Cow Marawa,
Kal Marawa,
Hakak,
Hakak,
Watahar,
Atahar,
Pa Matazarayam,
Amatazarayim,
Hakak,
Hakak,
Lahakwiam,
Hakwim,
Matiam,
Matiam,
Hakak,
Hakak,
Aurakawa,
Arakawa,
Hatamala,
Tama'ala,
Lagarashan,
Lagarashan,
Bahashem, Yahweh Shai,
Hashem Yahweh Shah,
the water Aman,
the water Aman. In the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahweh Shah, thank you, so be it.
Prayer for the blessing in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Why Yahweh Shai?
Why Yahweh Shah?
Why Mayaka Allah?
Why Mayaka Allah?
Why Allahayim?
Why Allahayim?
Matazabaya
Tazabya.
Allah Wap Yahana.
Allah Wap Yahana.
Wahala wa Allah Happy Salakia. Wa Allah Wapium.
Wahala Wapium.
Hasaranyam.
Hasaranyam.
Hakwatazayanyam.
Hakwatazayanyam.
Hakoya Yoyam.
Hakoya Yoyam.
Wahakwatian.
Wahagwatian.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
Bahashem Yahweh Shah.
The water Aman.
The water Aman. In the English, bless you, Yahweh. And Yahweh Shah. And Michael. And the angels. Commanding General Yahana. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shah, thank you, so be it.
Psalm 121 in Hebrew. Aisha, Ayanya, Al-Haharium, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayam,
Wa'arataza, Al-Yathan,
Lamawat, Ragalka, Al Yanawam, Shamarka, Hanala'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayishan, Shawamor, Yasha'ala, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tazalka,
Tazalka,
Aliyad,
Aliyad,
Yamyaka,
Yamyaka,
Yawamam,
Yawamam,
Hashamash,
Hashemash,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Yakaka,
Kaka,
Wayarak,
Wayarak,
Balayala,
Layala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamarka,
Yashamarka,
Makal Rai,
Makal Rai,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Athnapashka,
Atna Pashka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Tazaatka,
Tazaaka,
Wabawaatka,
Wabawa'aka,
Mayatha,
Mayatha,
Wa'aid, Iwalam,
Wa'aid Awalam. In the English, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from which cometh my help. My help coming from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore.
Psalm 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim,
Alahayim,
Al-Dame Alaka,
Al-Damiyalaka,
Al-Takarash,
Al-Takarash,
Wa Al-Tashakwat,
Al-Tashakwat,
Al,
Al,
Kayahana,
Ayahana,
Awayabyaka,
Awayabyaka,
Yahama,
Yahama,
Yawan,
Yawan,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Al-Aimaka,
Al-Aimaka,
Yairayamwa,
Yarayamwa,
Sawada,
Sawada,
Wayatha,
Wayata,
Ya'itazawa,
Ya'itazawa,
Al-Tazapawanyaka,
Altazapawanyaka,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Lakawa,
Akawa,
Wanakakidam,
Wanakakidam,
Magoya,
Mongolia,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Sham Yasha'ala,
Sham Yashala,
Iwada,
Iwada,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Nawaitazawa,
Nawaitazawa,
Laba,
Laba,
Yakadwa,
Yakadwa,
Alyaka,
Alyaka,
Baraya,
Barya,
Yakarathwa,
Yakarathwa,
Aholia,
Aholia,
Adawam,
Radawam,
Wayashamai,
Yashamai,
Alayam,
Alayam,
Mawa Abba,
Mawa Abba,
Wahagarium,
Hagorium,
Gabal,
Gabal,
I'm a one,
I'm a one,
I'm a lock,
I'm a lot,
Palashat,
Palashat,
I'm Yeshabia,
I'm Yeshabia,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gam Ashawar,
Gam Ashawar,
Nalawa,
Nalawa,
Imam,
Imam,
Ayawa,
Ayawa,
Zarawai,
Zarawai,
Labanya Lawat,
Labanya Lawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Aishalaham,
Aishalaham,
Hamadyan,
Hamadyan,
Kasaya,
Kasaya,
Sara'ah,
Sara'ah,
Kayabyan,
Kayabyan,
Banakal,
Banakal,
Wayashwan,
Wayashwan,
Nashamadwa,
Nashamadwa,
Ba'ayan,
Bayan,
Da'ara,
Da'ara,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Daman,
Daman,
Adama,
Ladama,
Shayatamwa,
Sayatam,
Nada,
Nada,
Yabmawa,
Yabmawa,
Ka'ara,
Ka'arab,
Wakazaba,
Wakazaba,
Wakazabak,
Wakazaba,
Wakatazol,
Wakatazol,
Manai,
Manai,
Kaunisaya Kamwa,
Kaunasai Kamwa,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Nayarashah,
Nayarashah,
Lanawa,
Lanawa,
Ath, Na'awa,
Na'awa,
Alahayam,
Alahayam,
Alahaya,
Alahaya,
Shayatamwa,
Sayatamwa,
Kagoyala,
Kagogala,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Lapanya,
Lapanya,
Rawaka,
Baraka,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
Tabi'ira,
Yaira,
Ya'ira,
Yaira,
Kalahaba,
Kalahaba,
Kalahat,
Kalahat,
Arayam,
Arayam,
Khan,
Gan,
Daradapma,
Daradapma,
Basa Iraka,
Basa Iraka,
Wabasa,
Wabasa,
Wapafka,
Wapatka,
Tabahalam,
Tabahalam,
Mala'ah,
Mala'ah,
Panyahum,
Panyaham,
Palawan,
Palawan,
Wayabakwashwa,
Wayabakwashwa,
Shemka,
Shimka,
Yahweh,
Yahawa,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Wayabaholwa,
Wayabaholwa,
Aidai,
Aidai,
Wayakaparwa,
Wayakaparawa,
Wayabadwa,
Waya Abadwa,
Wayadayawa,
Waya Dayawa,
Kaya Ata,
Waya Atab,
Shemka,
Shimka,
Yahweh,
Yahawa,
Labatka,
Labadka,
Alia one,
Alia one,
Akal Ha'arataza.
Al Kaharataza. In the English, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembered. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kishon, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb and like Zeeb. Yea, all their princes, Azabah and Nazalmunna, who said, let us take to ourselves the house of Yahweh in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind. As fire burneth they wood, and as a flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let me put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth.
Men of Israel, Imagine, men of Israel, Psalms 33, teacher, men of Israel. We give the teacher one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Imagine, Shabbat, Imagine, Barak, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Atah, Yahweh Matah, class dismissed.